Keto, keto, keto. Everywhere you look, somebody is about to start keto, somebody has tried keto, or somebody has heard about keto. What is this keto craze and why is it so effective? In this video, I'm going to show you 3 simple strategies on how to get started with keto the right way and how to avoid wasting time with unsuccessful keto attempts. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, this is Dan Perryman, former hospital CEO turned entrepreneur, host of the Low-Carb Leader podcast and YouTube channel, and fitness and low-carb and keto enthusiast. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to get started with keto the right way. I'm going to briefly go over what it is, how it works, and then 3 strategies on how you can be super successful at keto. So a little bit about my story. I've lost about 30 or 40 pounds on keto and low carb. I really didn't do it to lose weight, but as a result of starting keto and low carb, I actually got really involved and interested in fitness. And as you can see, I actually did a couple amateur physique shows. So you never know what will come of improving the way you eat. So let's get started. For those of you looking to get started, it's overwhelming. There's so many videos out there. There's so many people talking about different things that you should be doing that a lot of people will say, forget it, I'm not even going to do it. So in this video, I am going to be sticking with the basics, and I'm going to give you 1 key takeaway from each section. So by the end of this video, you're only going to have to remember 3 things, which will guarantee your success in keto. And then I'm going to give you a secret tip that will actually eliminate a lot of your frustration. So before I get into the 3 simple strategies, let's briefly discuss what keto is and why it works. And this is going to be all that you actually have to remember about keto. So keto is a low carb, moderate protein, and high fat way of eating. And it works because when you lower your carbs, you also lower your insulin. And if you remember, insulin is a fat storage hormone. So if you lower your carbs, you're not going to raise your insulin levels and you're not going to store fat. And as a result of your carbs being lowered, your body starts to burn ketones instead of sugar. That's it. Basically, you reduce your carbs, you reduce your insulin, you reduce your fat storing hormones, and you start to burn fat. That's really all you need to know. And remember, eating fat does not make you fat. Eating fat makes you feel more full, you get more nutritional value, and you actually start to burn fat because you are eating fat. It sounds so contrary, but it's absolutely proven science. Reduce carbs, reduce insulin, feel full, burn fat, lose weight. That's it. So how do we do it? So I think one of the major mistakes that a lot of us make is that we overcomplicate this way of eating. And there's a lot of videos, there's a lot of information out there, and I know it can become completely overwhelming. So I'm going to break this down into 3 simple strategies. That's all you need to do, and a special tip at the end of the video that's really going to help you. Step 1, we lower our carbs to a ridiculously low level. And our life sucks. I'm just kidding. But we do lower our carbs to a level that is not seen in the standard American diet. And since I'm talking about carbs, I think it is important that I make a distinction between total carbs and net carbs. So total carbs is the top line carbs. It's what the carb count is in the foods that you're eating. What net carbs is you can actually subtract fiber from the total, and that's net carbs. So some people focus on total carbs, some people focus on net carbs. I think when you're starting, you can focus on net carbs because I think a lot of people get caught up in the total carbs, and what happens is they actually reduce their vegetables to a really low level, and I don't think that is necessary. To keep your carbs this low, what can you eat? As you can see, You can eat a whole variety of really tasty foods and still keep your carbs to a low level. What it does take, though, is a little bit of meal planning. If you're interested in how to meal plan for yourself and for your family, check out my meal planning video in the above playlist. I think it will be helpful because it does take a little bit of planning to stay on track. So if you like what you're watching, make sure you hit the subscribe button, ring the bell next to the subscribe button to make sure you're notified of all new videos, and share this with somebody you love. So that's really it for step 1. So the one thing that I want you to remember out of this is lower carbs by eating what's on the keto food list. It's that simple. So a question that comes up a lot is, do you need to worry about macros when you start? So macros are how many grams of protein and how many grams of fat and how many grams of carbs. The one macro that you need to worry about is your carbs. So you want to keep your carbs low. I would try to keep your carbs at total carbs of less than 40 grams. That's a great goal to start with, and then you can fine tune later. But you really don't have to worry about fat and protein macros when you first start. Just lower your carbs. That's all you need to do. So if you want to learn more about macros, check out my video on macros in the playlist. All right, step 2. Step 2 is dealing with the dreaded keto flu. The keto flu is the number one reason that people stop doing keto. So what is the keto flu? There's a reason it's called the keto flu, because it feels like you have the flu. Cramping, fatigue, blah. That's how you feel, and it lasts about 7 to 10 days. What the keto flu is, we typically burn sugar when we eat carbs, but when you go to a low-carb way of eating, you reduce the sugar tremendously so that your body does not have sugar to burn for energy. At the same time, you are starting to transition your ketone levels up. A ketone is a really good fuel source. The only problem is it takes your body like 7 to 10 days in order to get enough ketones where it has enough fuel. So this in-between time is considered the keto flu time, where you don't really have enough sugar and you don't really have enough ketones, and so you kind of feel like crap. And even though it only lasts 7 to 10 days, a lot of people feel so bad that they quit eating low carb, and because as soon as you start eating carbs again, you feel better. The point that they never get to is when ketones fully kick in, and that's when your energy soars and you feel better and you start really dropping weight. But a lot of people quit before that because this is real. So how do you get through the keto flu? Electrolytes. So you may not know this, with every gram of carb that you eat, it also holds 3 grams of water. So when you go low carb and you start expelling these carbs, with it goes electrolytes, which are sodium, potassium, magnesium. So your electrolytes get low and you start feeling bad. And this is one of the major reasons for the keto flu. So how do you deal with this? There's actually some very easy ways to get you through this. It's just unfortunately people don't know, and so they quit. You can easily take an electrolyte supplement. And there's some links below to a couple electrolyte supplements I take. If you don't want to take the supplements, you can easily just add salt to your food. Just salt your food liberally. Remember, you're losing a lot of sodium by going low carb. Another easy strategy is that you buy some Epsom salt and you take an Epsom salt bath. And that's magnesium. That will really help with the cramping. So you can either take an electrolyte supplement, add some salt, and take a nice bath. That's all you need to do, and you should feel a lot better. So the one thing to remember is be prepared for the keto flu with electrolytes. That's all you need to do to be very successful in your first 7 to 10 days. So step number 3, intermittent fasting. So what is intermittent fasting? As you can see, there's different ways that you can intermittent fast. It's basically not eating one meal. It's not eating for a certain period of time. It's eating less calories one day, more calories the next. There's all kinds of ways to do intermittent fasting. And if you're just starting keto, I'm going to say that you should let intermittent fasting happen naturally. And what do I mean by that? So somebody who's done low carb or keto for a while, they will actually only eat for so many hours per day. It's called the eating window. Or they will plan out their fasts. But what I'm saying, by eating keto, you're going to feel more full by eating higher fats. So you won't want to eat all the time. Simple strategy. You eat when you're hungry and you don't eat when you're not hungry. One of the worries that people have is, I'm not hungry. That's okay. It's actually very beneficial not to eat occasionally. We were not designed to be eating all the time. If you want to learn more about intermittent fasting, I have a great video. It's almost got 100,000 views on it by one of the leading experts in intermittent fasting, Dr. Jason Fung, and you can check that out right here. So really, as somebody who's just starting, there's only one thing to remember. Eat when you're hungry. Do not eat when you're not hungry. And intermittent fasting will occur naturally, because if you wake up and you're not hungry till 11 o'clock in the morning and then you eat, then you have really fasted for 12 or 16 hours overnight, plus the 4 hours before you ate. So your eating pattern is putting you in a state of fasting for most of the day, which is a pretty cool thing. So don't get caught up in seeing other people fast and trying to figure that out at the beginning, because you don't need to do it. You just need to eat when you're hungry and don't eat when you're not hungry. All right, so my final tip, and this is something that helps everybody, and it's simple. Throw your scale away. Do not weigh yourself. Did you know that weight can fluctuate 2 to 5 pounds a day? So if you're weighing yourself every single day, it's not even accurate, because your weight can vary up to 5 pounds a day. So here's a much better strategy. Grab an outfit that might be a little tight on you, because maybe you've put on a few pounds. Put it on a hanger, and once a week, try that outfit on and see how it fits. That will be an indication if you are actually changing your body composition. Because if you're weighing yourself and you have all that variation anyway, or if you're working out and putting on muscle, then your weight could stay the same and you could look a lot better. This is about improving your body composition. So try that outfit on every week and see how it fits. And the other thing is, just notice how you feel. If you have more energy, if you're sleeping better, if you're feeling better, that's what's important. The weight will come off. You don't need to worry about it and obsess over it. And what I've found talking to people is that weighing yourself will actually sabotage your results, because you will be happy one day when you lose a pound and you'll be frustrated the next day when you gain a pound. And all that frustration and all that happiness and all that frustration and all that happiness will become totally frustrating. You'll end up quitting. This tip right here has helped so many people, and I absolutely think you should do it. So go right now and throw away your scale, get that outfit out, and you will be super successful with this. So in summary, there's actually only 4 things that you need to remember. Number 1, lower your carbs. Number 2, prepare for the keto flu with electrolytes. Number 3, let intermittent fasting happen naturally. And number 4, don't weigh yourself. That's it. So now you know 3 simple strategies and a bonus tip on how to become super successful on keto. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you share with others too, because this could really help them. Take care, everyone, and I hope you have a wonderful week.